Friends, I have received an incredible number of messages and comments asking, is the Galaxy S25 Ultra worth it? Is it progress or is Samsung standing still? Is it better than the Galaxy S24 Ultra or the S23 Ultra? Is it worth switching from the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL? And I am here today to have a straight talk with you about it, as I have had the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra for 5 days now and have gotten a pretty good impression of the device. But before I get to my opinion and arguments, let's establish the facts. And the fact is that the Galaxy S25 Ultra is the most powerful, modern and robust smartphone that Samsung currently offers. It has a better processor than the S24 Ultra, a more comfortable design, a much more robust and less reflective display glass, a slightly better camera. It's become 15 grams lighter and 15% thinner. It comes with the latest AI functions that we can currently find on a smartphone. That's simply fact. But it's also a fact that all these improvements need to be put into perspective. When you're facing the buying decision, these facts don't help you, true as they may be, right? I bet you've already read all this and are still thinking, okay, should I buy it or not? Because another fact is that the Galaxy S25 Ultra in its smallest version with 12GB RAM and 256GB storage without any current promotions, discounts and trade-in bonuses, which costs 1,449 euros. That's a lot of money. And the only legitimate question you should ask yourself when deciding whether to buy the Galaxy S25 Ultra or not is, do I need this? And of course, emotions play a really important role too, especially for me, when it comes to technology. So I'll allow a slightly modified second question. Do I want this? Do I need or really want the most powerful processor currently available in the Android space? Because maybe I play graphically demanding games, want to edit 4K videos on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, or want to be able to safely use all the new AI functions that will come in the next 2 years because the power is there. Do I urgently need a more robust and less reflective display glass? Am I really excited about the device being 0.4mm slimmer and 15 grams lighter? Do I absolutely and urgently need the 50 megapixel wide-angle camera that can take slightly better macro shots than the S24 Ultra? And once you've answered all these questions for yourself, are you ready to put down the necessary money for it? If you answered yes to all or most of these questions, don't forget the 10% discount in the members app. Trade in your old smartphone and go for it. If you answered no to these questions or are very uncertain about many questions, leave it. Wait another year or go for the Galaxy S24 Ultra, which is now naturally available at a lower price. Because the new and pretty cool AI functions will, based on experience, most likely come to the S24 series in a few months. Unless, and now we come to another important decision factor, you have a very old smartphone that urgently needs to be retired. And if you have a pretty old smartphone that you'd like to replace, I would always go for the latest model if you plan to use the smartphone for a long time again. Because with the newest model, you naturally also get the longest update guarantee, which with Samsung and Google, you get 7 years of update guarantee for security and version updates. And it's also a fact that AI will develop rapidly in the coming years. And this simply requires a powerful processor to perform complex calculations. So if you urgently need a new smartphone this year, I would definitely go for the newest model. Now that we've discussed the facts and you might be able to assess whether you should get the S25 Ultra, I'd like to share my very personal experience with the S25 S25 Ultra with you, though I must say that I've only had the device for 5 days and the long-term test might bring somewhat different results. But my personal experience with the Galaxy S25 Ultra are consistently positive. I really like the flat frame because it feels better in my hand. But I also know that this is very much a matter of taste, and there are many who preferred the rounded edges of the S24 Ultra. I think the slightly more rounded corners look better, but in my opinion they make little difference in handling and how the device feels in your hand. And to be honest with you, I was a little bit disappointed there because I had hoped for some relief, particularly in terms of weight. Because let's be honest, this thing is and remains a chunky device. I'm personally already really excited about the Edge model that will be released later this year, hoping that we'll then really have a proper Ultra model in a more comfortable format. I personally think Apple is taking a very good approach here, that you also have the choice between a larger and more manageable device with the Pro models. But apart from the externals, the new AI functions that Samsung has packed into the Galaxy AI really impress me. You have to keep in mind that we are still really at the beginning here. And when it comes to the mobile sector, Samsung and Google are currently at the forefront of development. What we currently have in terms of new functions in the S25 series, we'll see somewhat later on the Pixel devices as well. And what Google then releases with the next Pixel device in terms of functions, we'll see again somewhat later on Samsung devices as well. That's how the cooperation works. And besides all the AI image editing functions, which are pretty cool by the way, the translator, the formulation ads, I find one development of the Galaxy AI particularly exciting. And that is that I can talk to Gemini like I would with a human and give it multiple tasks in one sentence. For example, research this event, send the information to my husband and add it to my calendar. Awesome! It's just super unusual to use something like this, as unusual as writing text messages instead of calling in the year 2000. But that's just how development goes. And with the S25 Ultra, my focus in testing is particularly on how I can integrate these functions into my daily life so that they support me, which is the point and purpose of the exercise. For example, I recently received an email with an invitation to an event that included the date, time, and location, and I wanted to add it to my calendar. Instead of manually searching everything and typing it into my calendar, I just opened Gemini, went to Screen Query and asked Gemini to create a calendar entry with all the important information from this email. I've done this several times. Now and often it works really well, but of course it depends on how good the information in the email is. Once, for example, a specific year was missing in the information about the event, and Gemini just saved the appointment in 2023. Here I would have wished for an interaction where Gemini asks when relevant information is missing. But that's still to come, and I'm looking forward to it because even this tiny example here has already saved me time. From my perspective, there needs to be a shift in thinking, away from evaluating smartphones based on their hardware, how they look, how many buttons they have, how many lenses and milliampere hours, towards how can it make my daily life easier? How many tasks does it take off my hands? And what extraordinary things I can do with it that I can't do with other devices. This is simply a change in how we use our smartphones that we are going through here. I mean, who of you remembers how crazy it felt that more than 25 years ago we could suddenly call a person no matter where they were and didn't have to be lucky that they are just at home to talk to them? I have exactly the same feeling right now with the S25 Ultra or the S25 Plus, which I'm testing in parallel. When you engage with Gemini, it's crazy what it can already do, and I'm looking forward to what's still to come. I hope you enjoyed my impression of the Galaxy S25 Ultra after 5 days today. If so, please hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to this channel. With that in mind, friends, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye and see you next time. Mwah.